Howdy, howdy. Welcome to the show. Here we are, week 6. Optimal Evan. Whoops.
Optimal
Evan. There is an Optimal Evan out there somewhere. Hit me up, bro. So I'm sure I would not be able to have that Instagram handle. So there's definitely an Optimal Evan out there. Optimal Evolution Programming, brought to you by Optimal Evolution. Coach Tim, Coach Nathan here. Welcome. Let's dive into it. So this is week 6 of this rest cycle, and we're currently in a build phase. We're in the build phase of the rest cycle, and we are now going to be moving into the prep week. Okay, so kind of follow along with that, and if you want more info on how all of that works with the prep and the build and how to relate and work with those, I mean, we kind of give you a little bit as we go through here, but the free course that I created, it's in the Life Collective community. You can get it for free, and it goes into a lot greater depth on how to use this, as well as how to install a whole kind of operating system with the same kinds of principles for all the other areas of your life. Obviously, this is more gym performance specific, but even as we get into in here, there's also other correlates with the mental, emotional, and the spiritual. Okay? So, with all that said, so the average for this week is a 221. And so as you can see, that's still on the lower end here. So let's start us off. Coach Tim, with day 1
We'll do.
of the new program.
Hope you guys doing well. Okay, going into day 1, strength day as it typically is. Okay, we have a 4-4-1. Okay, which means we have a 4 density.
Yeah, density's in the middle.
4, that's intensity. This is what's the
Volume.
Volume. Ah,
There it is.
we knew that. Hey, we know what it is. Hey. Oh,
Just
nice,
a
bro.
little light here.
There we go. All right. So, first exercise, we have a complex. So actually, we're just doing what we did last week. From the medium blocks, snatch plus overhead squat. But this time, we got 4 sets, and we're doing 4 plus 4. So 4 snatches. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Then 4 overhead squats. As soon as you get done with that, add on 1. So, and make sure everyone. We were talking about this before we started recording, but obviously, as we continue to do those lower numbers, you know, we want you guys to, right, we want that range to grow, but a 1, like, is a sure thing. You know, 1 is like a guaranteed, I'm going to make this lift. You know what I mean? Like, don't play around with that. Like, yes, we want that to be increasing, challenge yourself, but again, going up with the sets and the reps, going to keep you honest and making sure that you're at that 1 range, because again, like, we ain't missing these. Like, we're doing these to build that technique, build the confidence, build the consistency. So just keep it at a 1, whatever that is for you.
Yeah, remember later this year, we are most likely going to see for the test, like potentially a 10 rep max weightlifting total. So, you know, a lot of the reasoning behind the higher reps, as, you know, beyond just overall building capacity, is with that in mind, just starting to prepare that capacity for when we get into that as we continue building this year.
Absolutely. Okay, so moving on. Same thing also from last week, the clean and the front squat and the jerk, all from the medium blocks as well. This time, 4 sets again, and then also 3 plus 3 plus 3 now. So again, even more volume, even more, okay, dialing in that form, making sure, like again, keeping it smooth, making sure it's consistent, and it always feels good, okay? And then after that, Coach Nathan wanted to mix it up on y'all.
Oh, shit.
And we're going to do a log, clean, and press.
Talk to him. Come
so,
on now.
If you have no familiarity with the log, we will show you, make sure you all know what you're doing.
You're going to learn today.
But obviously, it's very similar to the clean and jerk. With the press, looking for you all to pretty much do whatever press feels best for you. And in typical strongman, you can get it over your head pretty much however you want. You can jerk it, you can push press, you can strict press. So we're going to give you guys a little bit of freedom with that one. But cleaning it, you know, it's going to be a pretty standard clean. But we got a 4 by 1 plus 4, so 1 clean and then 4 presses over your head. Okay, and again, we'll show you guys how to do that if we're not familiar with the log work. Okay,
And it'd be it'd be helpful with that one. Just look up on YouTube, just so you can see if you don't already know what it is. Just so you can see that way you'll already get a sense of the technique, and then when we show you, it'll make a lot more sense. Because even though it is a clean, there's a little bit more of a specific technique to be the most efficient with the log. I mean, I guess you could clean it like you would clean a barbell, but it doesn't tend to work out as well.
All right,
I'll flip it over.
Flip her over. All right, and then on the back, so
That was painful.
Finish off day one. We got some little bit of conditioning for you all. Okay, superset. We got the rower, and we got a dumbbell front rack lateral box step over. So a little bit of work to start to prepare you guys for the rest test we got going on. So we're gonna row 250 meters. You're gonna do 5 step overs on that box. Dumbbells are here. Stepping up 1 foot on that box, crossing the foot over.
Crossing the foot.
Stepping down with that opposite foot on the other side. That's 1, and you got 5 on each side. And then we're gonna do that nonstop for 8 minutes, many rounds possible.
Back and forth.
And wrap. Okay, that is day 1. Okay, let's get her back over.
Zoop.
And I'm gonna pass it to Coach Nate for the specific day.
All right. Hope we're doing well out there, folks. So day 2 here, we've got a specific day and a little bit of a point here. So as you can see, this prep phase of the week, this little mini phase of the week, because we use the same principles, whether it's when we're talking years or we're talking days in different parts of the week. Same idea. So this is a prep mini phase of the week, and this is a specific day, which is also a building day within the prep. All that is to say, we went from a 3-3-1, so we went from a 2-2-1 to a 3-3-1. So when we go into the prep, we increase the volume and the density. And then from the 3-3-1, so whatever the build is the average. The build is the average intensity and density and overall volume. Okay, so we just take that average, and then that gives us the specific day. Again, we don't need to get super deep into that, but just giving you some little feelers here. So specific day means what it sounds like. It's specific work related to the overall big picture. And because the power test of the Life Games is the Olympic lifting total, doing the snatch and the clean and jerk is a staple in the programming as a whole. 1, because that is the test, and then 2, and the reason why it is the test is the snatch and the clean and jerk are essentially one of the most all-encompassing movements that you can do that contain the most different elements of movement. Like, you've got to be able to squat, you've got to be able to row, you've got to be able to hinge, you've got to be able to lunge, and even twist to an extent, even though there's not a whole lot of emphasis of that. And then you've got to be able to push. So it incorporates all those different things in just one movement. So it's like a high leverage activity. Okay. So with all that being said, first exercise. So it's a 3-3-1, which means we're gonna have 3 exercises. We just keep it real simple with all the numbers. And again, just a reminder, like all of these, it's just shit that, it's a method to have a little bit of a structure, to have guidelines, to make things simple while still incorporating the underlying principles in harmony with nature. So snatch 3-3-1, so that's 3 sets of 3 reps out of 1. Clean and jerk, 3 sets of 3 reps, so you'll do clean, jerk, clean, jerk, clean, jerk, okay, out of 1. And then back squat, 3 plus 3. So as Coach Tim was saying, even though, yes, we're still at a 1, now that we've been progressing into the program more and more, the bottom end, as we're all noticing, is starting to move up. So, the reps are a little lower here, and the movements are a little simpler, so we can start to feel into, just a little bit heavier weights. Again, we're not missing, like technique is still on point, but we can start to move up that bottom end. All right? Back to you for day 3.
So, weakness day, 1-1-2, only 1 exercise and only 1 set. We've been working on the deadlifts on Wednesdays. Saw sumos last week, so we're gonna ride that train one more time. Try to build on that. Hope you guys get a chance to again work on that form. And then again later down the line, once we start getting more individualized with the movement patterns, you can figure out, hey, I like sumo more, I like conventional more, I'm somewhere in between, a little bit of a frog, whatever. So many rounds, as many reps as possible, 30 seconds at a 2, so hopefully you'll see a little bit more than you did last time. Okay, so yeah, back to Coach Nate.
Yeah, and then day 4, technique day, and again, you only really see this day if you're on the 6-day program, but still, it's a good day to just go into the gym. That's this day for me. Go into the gym, mess around with the bar, just feel good. And then I'll just go into accessory day, and then you can finish her off. So day 5 is the accessory day. So it's a 2-2-1 for the day. So the first thing we've got is a single leg landmine row. So that'll essentially be like a single leg RDL, and then the landmine will be perpendicular to you coming off to the side, and then you'll row with the opposite arm. So you do that 30 seconds on each side, and you're going to superset that with a half kneeling Pallof press. So Pallof press, you'll be on one knee, other knee's out front, and then you're also going to have a band that's perpendicular to you. It's coming off straight to the side, and you can connect it around one of the rack posts. And then you're going to be pressing out in front of you. So the band's trying to pull you towards it, but then you're having to stabilize as you press out. And make sure with these, like, keep your torso neutral, keep your body straight, because it's easy to start like extending or doing weird stuff with the band when it starts to get a little harder. So yeah, keep everything neutral and straight, and then you're just pressing from there. And then, 2 rounds, 30 seconds per side. A slight little note with that, something you can play around with, especially when it comes to the Pallof press, is because, it's a 1 intensity, so the intensity is lower. So this is where, people ask about how to breathe during these kinds of things. So as a general rule, when you're lifting for performance, when you're working out, you will inhale on the easy part, exhale on the hard part, as a general rule, okay? It's like, if you're going to squat, before you even go, you take a big breath, and then as you're coming up through the hard part, you'll let some of the air out. When you're working when you're moving in a way that's more restorative and corrective, not kind of breaking things down as much when you're training for performance, the breathing pattern should match the movement. So like in the instance of a Pallof press, so whenever you take an inhale, and you can just do this right now, whenever you take a big breath in, your body naturally expands. And whenever you breathe out, your body naturally just contracts and you move towards the fetal position. So that's just the natural pattern and rhythm of the breath. So when it comes to timing movement with the breath, depending on how the movement is how the breath will be, the inhale and exhale will be sequenced. So on a Pallof press, I'm pressing out, and if you just keep going with that, like if I were just to over exaggerate that, you can see how I'm just naturally starting to like internally rotate, and essentially things are contracting, which would be coupled with exhalation. And then on the way back, inhalation, which with that exercise, that matches what you would normally do. So I said all that just to say nothing, but you get the concept here. But like for instance, on a pull down, technically, if you're doing this as a work in, you would inhale on the way down because you're opening up. Whereas if you were training more as like a workout, you would usually take like a breath at the top and then exhale on the way down, because that's the harder part. So you get the idea. All right. Flip it around.
Flipper.
And then, so this is the finish of day 5. So we're going to do another superset. So we're just good old walking lunges. Okay. You're going to go down 50 feet, back 50 feet. So basically half the turf at each wrist muscle. And then you'll go down. That'll be 100 feet total. And then you're going to do a side plank. I don't think we've ever done these before. A side plank on your hand, or if it's a little more challenging for you, you can go on your forearm. side plank on your hand, and then we call these single arm dumbbell rotational press. So essentially you'll have a dumbbell that's going to be starting right in front of you while you're on the side plank, and then while in the side plank you're going to lift the dumbbell up and extend it over your body. So it's in the air. Okay? And so that each one of those is one, you'll do 5 reps per side. Just 5 per side, 5 on the other side. Okay? And then, yeah, so that is, you do 2 rounds of that, and that's accessory day. And then we got some more surprises for you. Just keeps getting better and better, y'all.
So, test day.
Switch me out.
Yeah. Test day.
Take them home.
Same thing we've been doing, obviously, focusing on that overhead squat. Okay, as you guys have already know, we've already revealed, what the test day looks like, rest test, right? So you know what to expect with this one. But we're gonna keep the tempo for now, 50% body weight. Keep trying to build. And I don't know about you guys, but as we've been doing this test, I've seen, like, when I go to do my other overhead squats and my other snatches, I'm like,
boy, be feeling good.
They feel good. I feel like way stronger, way more under control, way tighter in those movements. So I'd say it's working out pretty well. So keep that one. And then we have a little mini mayhem. So the Magic Mayhem is the actual test that we're going to be doing during the rest test for that conditioning set. So we're going to give you guys a little sample of that. Little introduction to what we'll see long term. So running on the turf is supposed to mimic the super lap that we're going to do. Okay, and then we're going to do 5 laps on the turf, down and back equals one lap to start. Then we're going to go into 20 push-ups. Okay, so wherever you are, those push-ups, if you can do them off your knees, we're going to expect that. But if you need to go down on 1 knee or 2 knees, that's also fine. If you need to break them up, that's also fine. We got some weeks. We're going to build on that. But either way, go 20 push-ups. And then we've got 10 box hop overs, okay, like we're going to see in the Magic Mayhem as well, on each side. So I'm hopping on the box and hopping down, hopping back. That's 1. And then other side, back and forth is 1, basically, 10 on each side. Same thing with the lateral med ball slams. 10 on each side, 1, 2 equals 1. Okay, 10 of those. All right, so just open up the core, back and forth, side to side with those slams.
Over your head.
Yes.
That's what, when we do the actual game, that's going to be a little bit part of the criteria to have a standard for everybody. The ball has to be up over your head.
Full extension. Now you just like all the way, arms fully extended, coming down the opposite side. And then you finish off after that with 1 more set of the 5 laps with the run. And then that's it for the mini mayhem. And you'll see as the weeks go by, we'll begin to incrementally increase these reps. Gives you guys more and more conditioned, more and more prepared for the actual Magic Mayhem. Okay, and the last thing, which we've already been focusing on the last couple of weeks, but ping and a pong for the ping pong palooza. We'll see 3 games. So you can play 3 games with the same person, 3 games with other different people, but either way, get those games in, get your reps, right, and just keep practicing. It'll be fun, right? We'll see small improvements every time if you're just willing to just, like, if it's hard, if it's uncomfortable, if it sucks, let it be hard, let it be uncomfortable, let it suck, right? Like, enjoy that part of it, because eventually you're going to be better. You're going to be like, hey, all right, I remember when I wasn't that good at this, and then look at you now, okay? And of course, the last piece of it is just a little bit of rest, and that's all.
Yeah. And so we've already been keeping score of the overhead squat, and we just started keeping score for the ping pong. So essentially your score is how many games did you win out of 3. So like 0 out of 3, 1 out of 3, etc. And then so now the new thing will be, we'll have the time for the mini mayhem. And I know it's a little different on this one because we're going to be increasing what we're doing here. But it's still, even if you're just for your own personal sake, just keep track of these times. That way, because you may even find that the next time we do it, you get almost the same time, even though we do more reps. So you just kind of get a feel of your pace and where that's at. But Eventually, we are going to level off over the next several weeks. We'll kind of level off into the full thing. So we'll be able to have more of a standard there. But yeah, everything else, let's keep it going, y'all.
Keep rolling, gang. One day at a time, one step. Excuse me. Keep moving forward. No matter what's going on, obviously this is just one part of your life, but you have your own very personal journeys that you're going on. So hopefully, this and other things that you do can help you build some structure and build some consistency, and ultimately, or just have some fun with it. Like there's all the different parameters and rep schemes and all that, and it can be a little overwhelming. And like we want to build the structure, but ultimately at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, we want you all to feel empowered and for this to be something that helps you more than it is like some stressful thing that like you have to worry about. Like hopefully this is like adding value to your life. That's the most important thing. So we want all these things to go up, but we want more than anything for you guys to be getting better and feeling more confident and stronger as you go, and just believing yourself more as we go. Okay, love you guys.
Love you. What you are seeking is what is looking, my friends. Peace.